From water to cable, trash pickup, and what exactly is actually open, we're here at the Hurricane Help Hub, getting you those answers to try to get your life back to normal. I'm Carolina Lee. Thank you so much for joining us on Nightside.
And I'm Katie McCall. One of the biggest questions we're hearing over and over, when will my power be back on? 10 Investigates' Noah Pransky has been on power patrol all day. Noah, you've got the latest numbers.
Right now, almost 500,000 people in Tampa Bay still without power, but that number is down about 18% of Tampa Bay. Statewide, 2.1 million, about 1 in 5 across Florida. And here's the most frustrating part. The utilities still can't tell us which neighborhoods are next to come online. We found out it's largely because they fixed the big problems, but now it's tens of thousands of little breaks in the grid. The good news, though, right here, the graph. You can see which companies are doing the best getting their customers back. Right now, they're actually all about the same, and that tells me that all three companies are doing a decent job. Another graph right here. These are the percentage of the power losses that have been restored to this point since Hurricane Irma came through. FPL and Duke lagging a little bit behind TECO, but that's because their areas have been the hardest hit. You also have co-ops and municipal utilities here as well. But take a look how similar these are, right? They're dealing with a monumental task. A Category 2 hurricane came through. It's only been 3.5 days. We urge some patience. I mean, before the storm, we told you needed to be prepared. There could be extended outages. That's why you stocked up on your water and non-perishables, people. I know how frustrating it can be if you're still without power, though. Many of us here at 10 News are without power as well. It's tough. We're all in the same boat. But also in the same boat, many of those hard-working people out on the ladder trucks fixing the lines outside your house. I've seen your emails. You're frustrated. But don't direct your frustrations at the hard men and women working out there. Many of them are going home at night without power as well. They're our neighbors. They're moms and dads too. Grandparents in some cases. Some of them are even volunteers from out of town. But they're doing their best, and we'll all get through this very soon. 10 Investigates, meanwhile, we're going to continue to keep watchdogging the power issue, not just when this is over, but onward and more down the road, including issues like down what we saw with the nursing homes. We're getting a lot of emails from you asking about nursing homes and assisted living facilities. Dozens of them still without power across Florida. And just in tonight, that Hollywood Hills, South Florida nursing home where 8 people died, the governor has signed an order to terminate it after the fatality. So tonight, 10 Investigates pushing for more action locally, where seniors could be in jeopardy still, left without air conditioning since Irma.
Requesting that all of their patients be evacuated.
On this 90-degree day, a lack of air conditioning forced the residents of the Good Hope Assisted Living Facility to relocate to another center. One of the women, 104 years old.
They've had power, but they've been without air conditioning throughout since the storm.
There were no medical emergencies reported at this Pinellas Park facility, but it was one of numerous that 10 News viewers wanted us to check out because of power problems. And new findings by 10 Investigates reveal this facility had been in regulatory crosshairs before. It was cited last year for not properly filing its emergency contingency plans with the state. But it's not the only one with issues this week. You've told us about dozens of facilities still without air conditioning, including 3 in just the tiny community of Haines City.
Right after emergency hospitals, understandable about that, but why are they not on anyone's list? That should be a priority.
And she's right. Nursing homes don't get top priority from energy companies. And there's concern some aren't prepared for all emergencies. 10 Investigates tried to assess the situation at the Haines City Healthcare Center after receiving a tip, but our reporter was chased off property. Officials considered evacuating residents here too, but settled on a borrowed generator to keep things cool.
We should be doing more to make sure that our vulnerable, our elderly, our children are most protected, particularly in times like these.
State Senator Darrell Roussan says he requested teams from both state and federal regulators to come down to Tampa Bay to make sure elderly residents and patients here are safe. He told 10 News anchor Courtney Robinson he'd like to explore one additional protection.
They should have some priority, as well as the fact that we might want to suggest or make law that they have backup generators, backup systems in case main systems like air conditioning and electricity fail.
10 Investigates Noah Pransky will keep asking tough questions for as long as it takes to get the power restored. But as some of you still wait, you're asking us, what is your responsibility for getting your power back on? Nightside reporter Mark Rivera breaks it down for you.
It is a pain when you don't have power, and as you saw, sometimes it can be deadly. But here's where you're responsible for getting your power back on. I read the fine print for Duke Energy, TECO, Lakeland Electric, FPL. Here's what it says. There are big components of your home that you might need to fix before power can come back. And there are a couple of terms you need to know. Your home gets power from a service line, and it's monitored by the meter. Those are the responsibility of the power company to maintain. But there are 4 other parts of your power hookup, and they are all your responsibility. There's the weatherhead that protects the line in, the attachment hardware that keeps it connected to your home, the riser that houses that connection above or below ground, and the meter can or box. If any of those in blue are damaged, your energy company may not be able to restore service to you until you hire an electrician to fix them. No power and your meter box is hanging off the side of your home? That's your responsibility to fix, not the energy companies. I called the popular home warranty company, American Home Shield. Yeah, they don't cover those repairs. The joys of home ownership, right? Mark Rivera, 10 News.
I think that catches a lot of people off guard.
It does.
You're thinking, oh, wait, the power company's going to fix that.
Yeah.
That's not my responsibility.
Not on me. Yep.
And it is.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Mark. So maybe you need to hire an electrician to help you get your power back on, or you need a contractor to do other repairs around the house.
Yeah, but people know that we've just had a major weather event, so they know where they can take advantage of people. That's why you want to be on the lookout for scam artists. Here's what you want to keep in mind. A couple of things. First, be leery of unsolicited offers of people claiming they can do a job at a steep discount.
That's the key.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Have your insurance company evaluate all damages before arranging any repairs. Get at least 3 written and itemized estimates from different companies. And beware of contractors who try to get you to sign your insurance benefits over to them. That is a red flag. When you finally do decide on a contractor, make sure to look at state and local licenses, proof of insurance, and you will want to read the fine print in that contract. You'll be glad you did. Remember, you can find out if there are any consumer complaints filed against that company at myfloridalicense.com. And before you hand over that final payment, this is so key. Make sure you are completely satisfied with all of the hard work.
And you can find so much of that information online now. It's not hard to get it. We have a team of investigators ready to help answer your questions. So we want to hear from you. Send an email to tips@WTSP.com, or you can reach out to us on social media using the hashtag 10investigates. Again, we want to hear from you. What you're worried about right now. We're talking scams, power, issues, or insurance claims. There are a lot out there.
Yeah, those 3 things. So you can vote right now by going to WTSP.com/vote now, or click on Vote Now in the 10 News app. We're going to bring you the results later in this newscast.
This has been a difficult week for all of us, but for some, Hurricane Irma has been absolutely devastating. That's why kindness has rarely been more appreciated in the Tampa Bay area than right now. And on social media, stories of neighbors helping neighbors are filling our feeds. Take a look at this photo. Frank is on the left from Illinois. On the right is Bert from Utah, and Keith on the right of the picture is from Indiana. They all came out of state as Red Cross volunteers to do what they can to help our neighbors. Animals were also in danger as Hurricane Irma made its way through the Tampa Bay area. So one couple ended up, get this, taking in 46 of them. Surprisingly, Ron and Gretchen say they're all getting along just fine. The couple did end up losing power at one point during the storm, though, but luckily they were prepared with a generator. There's, by the way, a bunny in the mix of all of that. And I'll leave you with this, a sign, a chair, and a cell phone charger. Sometimes that is all you really need to absolutely change somebody's day. Now, if you know a hurricane hero, let us know about them too. Email tips@WTSP.com with your story of neighbors helping neighbors. You can find more stories as well on our website, WTSP.com.
43 people. Nice person. All right, a mother reaches out to our investigative team with concerns that a Jacksonville grocery store is restocking shelves with perishable food that thawed out during the hurricane.
Ew.
Investigative reporter AJ Legault searches for answers.
Hold on, let me undo. That's the pizza at Save-A-Lot. They're just putting everything right back in the freezer.
It's video Lindsay Reed posted to Facebook and sent to First Coast News after a grocery run to a local store right after the power came back on Wednesday afternoon.
So we found the frozen corn, but it wasn't frozen, it was thawed.
It wasn't the corn that concerned her. It was something else she saw.
I'm like, I gotta do something.
What she did was get out her phone.
I took a couple of pictures and then started videoing
to document what she says was store workers putting defrosted dairy and meat back in the freezer.
That's thawed out too?
Yeah, like you can push like right on them.
The boxes that the frozen dinners and frozen pizzas and stuff were in were like wet, where the stuff had thawed and the condensation or whatever had wet the cardboard. So it was all warped.
She says when they noticed her videoing, they began dumping some of the food on the floor.
He starts throwing stuff down after I called him out on it. They're busy.
Her attempts to notify the USDA proved unsuccessful.
The phone's off the hook.
So she asked us to investigate. We went to the Lem Turner Road store to look for ourselves.
Let's take a look and see how stuff looks in here. This says it's supposed to be kept frozen and it's cold now, but the cardboard is definitely pretty mushy, like it's been defrosted.
Same thing with the frozen pizzas.
This is it's all mushy and wet. It says it's supposed to be kept frozen.
Store employees told us during checkout, when one of them even began playing with our camera,
it broke though during the hurricane,
that they'd moved all their perishable food to a refrigerated trailer during the hurricane, so it was all good.
That's what we need to find out if that actually happened.
We turned to the Florida Department of Agriculture. They sent inspectors to the store, but this time,
sorry, you can't be filming in here.
We were told no cameras allowed, and
it's in here, has to go through the corporate office.
We had to leave. But a corporate spokesperson called us and admitted there was a problem, telling us, quote, someone at the store made a poor decision. It's not our company policy to ever try to salvage products after a disaster. The employees involved are being coached. It's an answer
okay, let's go.
to questions this concerned mom says should never have had to be asked.
It's not fair to the consumer.
AJ Legault, 10 News.
Good work there, AJ. Save-A-Lot also says it is sending a district and corporate manager to the store to ensure nothing like this ever happens there again. The Florida Department of Agriculture never got back to us to tell us what its inspectors found, but Save-A-Lot tells us it was cleared of having any unsafe food on the shelves.
Here at 10 News, we want to make sure you know what's true and what's fake, especially in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. So we are verifying something that we saw on Twitter today. It says, quote, report from Tampa that Canadian-owned TECO is out of transformers and may be Tuesday before all power is restored. So we sent an email to TECO to find out whether that's actually true. Here's what we got. We were told that's, quote, completely false. TECO has all the transformers it needs, and we took the time to reply to Shirley's tweet to let her know it's not true. So if you have a story tip or a question that we can help verify for you, our 10 Investigates team would love to hear from you. Send an email to tips@WTSP.com, or again, you can reach out to us on Facebook.
It's not too late to vote in our 10 News poll. We're asking, what are you most worried about right now? Scams, power, or insurance claims? You can vote right now by going to WTSP.com/vote now, or click on Vote Now in our 10 News app. We'll bring you the results in just a few minutes.